Hey everybody, this is Ariana Thompson. Welcome to the new show Wonder Woman Says. I'm a little bit about me. I've been cosplaying like this for the last few years, and I think it's a lot of fun to do, and I just like being on camera, so I figured I'd do this. Anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna review some comic books tonight, starting with this one right here. This came out last week. I didn't think, honestly, when I first saw this, I didn't know what to make of it. Because I expected, all be in color, but, they kind of drew it kind of somewhat similar to Sin City. But I give Marvel a lot of credit. They really put a lot of effort into this one and gave three really good stories. Especially this first one right here. You got Elektra pretty much taking on some vampires. They really pulled no punches, and it was just action-packed, very violent too. And honestly, when I read through this one, I kind of wish the whole book had been about this, but oh well. I guess you can't win them all. But for how it ran, though, I really loved it. And I loved the end of it too. Then there was a second story. Elektra pretty much had to go after this crime family. It was another action-packed story. And granted, I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I thought this was really good too. Again, I like the artwork a whole lot. Also, I like how they pretty much had Elektra had like this like man.
Keep going, keep going.
I like how Elektra had like this banner with this kid, because I know the kid was pretty much trying to pretty much kill her because she didn't want her to kill her father and all that kind of stuff. But I think it was a really good story. And then the last one, probably the shortest one of the bunch, they had Elektra rescue this child who turned out to be this immortal warrior from these evil spirits. This is my least favorite of the stories, but still I think it was good for what was there. Again, there was a whole lot of action, more great art, a whole lot of great lines and all that stuff. All I can say is I think Elektra is one of the most underrated characters in the Marvel Universe right now. And if you like Elektra, I would highly recommend this right here. Go down to your local comic book store, get this. I think you'll love it. Now, this is my favorite part of the whole show. I'm going to take a little blast from the past. I'm going to review something older. I'm going to take you back to 1976. This Wonder Woman story right here. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably remember I made a funny picture that involved this book right here. But yeah, keep in mind this is made when the TV show was probably at its height, during the Lyndon Carter era. And this is pre-crisis, so Wonder Woman's like pretty much always thinking about Steve. And but this is a good one right here. This pretty much happened right after Wonder Woman had the 12 trials of Hercules to get her reinstated to the Justice League. And this story deals with some invaders coming to Paradise Island. But there's like a whole undercurrent behind this that she's yet to find out. And again, I will say, I think the artwork was pretty good for its time. I think the dialogue was pretty good too. I also liked how they had the little twist at the end, which coincides greatly to this cover right here. I figure, this book came out in 1976, so I don't really think we have to worry too much about a spoiler. Well, pretty much she finds out the invader is a resurrected Steve, and when she finds this out, she also finds out her mother pretty much orchestrated this whole invasion to see if Wonder Woman still had it, so to speak. And when Wonder Woman finds out that it's Steve, she really doesn't know what to think at first. Pretty much she ends up begging
Hippolyta?
no, not Hippolyta. She ends up begging Aphrodite. Forgive me for that. She ends up begging Aphrodite to spare his life and let him live on Earth again. Which she does, after listening to her tearful pleas right here. I will say this is a good story right here. It might be a little bit of a stretch to read for people who like the more modern day Wonder Woman of now, like the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movies and all that, cause this is pretty much like your mother's Wonder Woman right here.
Alright, so star rating, Elektra, Wonder Woman.
Elektra, I would give Elektra a solid 4.5. I think it was a really good read. I just really liked all three stories, and I liked the dialogue, I like how it was written, how everything was said. I give the Wonder Woman comic, I give it 4 stars. I think it was a good one for its time, especially considering this is during the time when like Wonder Woman was pretty much like everything she was doing somehow revolved around Steve to some degree. I think that was a good story, especially it was a sign of things to come too for the next few years in that time of Wonder Woman comic books. But this was the first episode. I know everything wasn't perfect, but I was glad I was able to do this, and I can't wait to do this next week. Also, somewhere down the line, we're going to be taking requests to see audience members can vote on which new comic books you want me to review personally. So, pretty much, feel free to tell me what you would like to see. This is fun to do. Signing off now. Good night. See you next week.